So it's time for our Friday food segment, and we're going to Midtown today to Origami Asian Grill. And it's at 48th and Folsom, right on the corner there. You really can't miss it. And the studio smells so good, I can't tell you. The aromas are just fantastic. And this is the effort between two chefs who we have in studio right here with us, Scott Ostrander and Paul DePiero. And this is a restaurant that I know you've kind of been thinking about for a while. I know you two had worked at Paragary's and other restaurants, many other restaurants before that. But this is your own adventure. Tell us why you decided to go Asian.
That's a good question. I think it started off with just what kind of restaurant could we afford to build, first and foremost, like what kind of scale, what kind of format. And then the cuisine kind of came secondary when we started thinking about how we wanted to use ingredients throughout the year, like hyper seasonally. And it lended to a lot of change, and we thought, well, it'd be better for Asian cuisine. It's the most adaptable cuisine there is. You know, Mexican food kind of lends towards like tomatoes and things like that that are very seasonal to summer. But Asian foods have a lot of different, versatility. So squashes are used, like kabocha pumpkins and things like that, going into pomegranates and persimmons, and we're getting into fall, so we have a lot of variance in that. And that's where we came out of like beans and corn, tomatoes, all that stuff. So for the seasons, for us, it worked like a chef's toy box. All year long, you can constantly change and be creative and try different things, and that was appealing to us.
Yeah.
Sure, and just to piggyback a little bit on that, in addition to the seasonality, we really enjoy the kind of boldness and the spiciness and some of the kind of strong flavors that come out of Asian cuisine. Kind of lends to unique and interesting profiles as a chef. We get to play with a lot of really cool stuff and really kind of go for a lot with our flavors. So yeah, that's part of the reason.
Sure, no, that makes total sense. Well, let's talk about what you brought in. Now, at the opening, I went to the early opening of your restaurant, Origami Asian Grill. That chicken just blew me away. I loved it. So let's start there with the fried chicken.
Sure. Well, the fried chicken, I must admit, is 100% a Scott Ostrander creation. And originally, we kind of were talking about it, do we want to have fried chicken on the menu? Because it is Asian cuisine. And we're not, there's by no means we're trying to be traditional Asian. We really want to kind of jump around and be unique and be very approachable as far as that cuisine is concerned. But we decided, if we were going to put fried chicken on the menu, how do we kind of put our spin on it, the Asian style? Right. And then in addition to that, it has to be really good, so I even said to Scott, is like, if it's not as good as South's fried chicken, we're not putting it on the menu. And I think we're there. I think we're right there. They do an amazing job over there as well, but we're really quite happy with it. And we kind of substituted miso for buttermilk, orange peel, Szechuan peppercorn for some of the spice agents. So yeah, we kind of put our own little Asian spin on Southern fried chicken.
Isn't there some maple in there?
Sure. Yeah, actually, that was the funniest part of it, because I'm a fan of sweet and savory at the same time.
Me too.
Yeah, it just seems to work. And I was like, well, everyone loves like honey with fried chicken and things like that in the South. And I was like, looking at a Japanese maple tree like outside, and I just saw it going. I was like, dude, maple syrup. That's just the inspiration. That's where the connection of maple syrup happened. It was just a Japanese maple tree. And I was like, yeah, let's find maple syrup and let's infuse it with, peppers and ginger and garlic and all the things that we need. And that helped out quite a bit.
Super delicious. Okay, we have two other things. Tell us what we have here.
Well, let's jump to the one on the right there. That's our ramen. Okay. It's a pork broth with pork belly. Our seasonal vegetables today are a brassica mix, and brassica is basically our cauliflower, broccoli, romanesco. Those three things, the kabocha squash, delicata squash, carrots, and a saute of cabbage and spinach. So we have all these different vegetables, and those change weekly for us and daily even in certain cases. So we included all those in there with our kind of house pork belly, which is quickly becoming kind of a fan favorite. Some garnishes include seaweed, bonito, green onions, and a little chili oil.
That is a huge bowl. I mean, people think ramen, not too heavy. That will fill you up. You might even have to share that. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah. And, we want to be fair with our portions. So
yeah.
More than fair. In most cases.
Yeah. And you have a ramen series, which we'll talk about coming up in just a minute. Unless you want to do it now. You want to tell us about it now?
Sure, if you want. Basically, our ramens are the most popular thing that we sell at the restaurant daily. And we have two different broths. We have a pork shoyu broth, which is seasoned with soy sauce, and we have a vegan miso broth, which is a kind of a charred onion stock as a base. And we sold so much of those, we were like, well, we're creative enough to where we thought it'd be fun to create a series of ramens, of different ramens, and try them throughout an entire week as a special, because we run specials daily. So why not run specials, you know, how we normally would with just ramen? Let's try different noodles, let's try different broths. So instead of pork, we're like, okay, let's make a chicken pho style broth. Let's make a seafood style broth. Let's make a beef style broth. Let's do a different pork broth, like tonkatsu style. Because people are like, oh, your pork broth isn't like tonkatsu. It's like, okay, well, yeah, we can do that. It's very easy. Let's give it to them. Let's try it out. And then all the noodles was like, well, let's infuse the noodles. Squid ink noodles, black truffle infused noodles. Let's do beet noodles and tomato noodles and all these other kind of colors, and matcha green tea noodles with duck ramen and, you know, duck broth. So we've been working on these recipes, kind of tootling around in the kitchen with all of them. We've got it set up, and we started advertising it probably within the last week on social media. I've had a lot of things, and if you come in as a customer and you come in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and have each broth and save your receipts for each ramen, we got a Ramen Series t-shirt that's designed after the World Series 2018 logo. It's pretty awesome. And so it's just to celebrate that, because I think we'll make it an annual event where people just kind of come on a ride with us to experiment different ramens. And these are ramens you're not going to get anywhere in town.
No.
That's for sure.
Yeah, that's off the hook. That's great. Okay, and our final dish. Tell us about that.
This is a rice bowl, basically brown rice, local rice. What we did here was create a rice stock for the rice, so it's not just we cook rice and water. We create and steep lemongrass, ginger, a little bit of kombu in a rice stock. We cook our rice in that, season it with a little bit of sushi vinegar, kind of harkening back to some Japanese influences there. Pull it out, and you kind of build it any way you want it, really, with different sauces. We have 3 different kinds. The one you see here is a chili miso sauce, and then with our grilled chicken. So it's one of those things where you can kind of build your own experience, really add the different vegetables, the different sauces, of which we have 3 to 4 different kinds, and then proteins, of which we have 3 to 4 different kinds there too. So our menu is limited in the sense that we only have, 5 or 6 main entrees, but you can really kind of create and adjust those entrees in 4 or 5 different ways, essentially creating, 20 different items or so.
Right.
As far as the flavor profiles are concerned.
So much variation.
Yes.
Yeah. So variation
Options.
and innovation. Yeah. And
people love their options.
Yeah, yes, they do. Yeah, and everybody has an idea of what they want and how they want it this time. Yeah, okay. Well, this looks great, and I know from what I've had, I can't wait to taste these, but the food that I've had it before was delicious. So.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. All right, so you're open, is it every day but Sunday?
Every day but Sunday. Sunday we have reserved for special events such as brunch. Every now and then we'll try to do and have a good time doing that, and as well as dinners, like beer dinners and things. We've got a couple of those coming up in December that we're gearing up for.
Okay, all right. So 11 to 10, your hours.
11
right?
to 10, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And easy to find. And again, if you want to go online, you can look at the menu, find out about the ramen series, the chef's dinners, which are always really fun. You've got that special.
Yeah,
role.
that's a little different. That's more of an immersive culinary experience for adventurous diners, and we're kind of getting that off the ground. And we're 1 month into it. We started with a 13-course Asian-inspired menu. That's very intricate. It's where Paul and I kind of get to do some things that we've done at previous restaurants we've worked at, like in terms of techniques and ingredients that you can't really get in a fast casual, inexpensive way.
Right.
So you do have to kind of take that monetary leap to do that. But our next menu for November is completely Italian, and it's only 9 courses, and it's cheaper than the 13 course. 13 course was $150. This is $110, and you can come and dine and get a reservation on Friday, Saturday night, and have a really personal experience as Paul and I plate all the dishes in front of you and serve you and the whole 9 yards. And we bring in specialty wines and sakes and things like that for that. Italian wines, obviously, for November.
Right.
And then we also have an a la carte option. If you're not feeling like doing the whole thing, but you want a really good meal of maybe 3 to 4 courses, you can make a reservation at the same place online under the chef's counter that's a la carte. And it's basically a $50 reservation. Come in, pick what courses you want. If you go over that in terms of a monetary value, we just deduct the $50 from your bill, and it's like a $50 credit that you pay in advance, but it reserves you a seat at the chef's counter.
Wow,
So
you
it's
guys,
kinda cool.
you are working in every direction. I love it. I love it. But you know what? You have the talent and you
Sure.
have the chops to do it, and so why not? Might as well.
Yeah, certainly a passion
Might as
project,
well
that's
do
for
it.
sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Origami Asian Grill. You'll find them at the corner of 48th and Folsom. Scott Ostrander and Paul DePiro, the chefs there that have come up with this pretty incredible restaurant here in Sacramento. So thanks, guys, so much.
Thank
and
you.
congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely.